So, with the spread of the coronavirus, as we know, continuously taking lives and affecting people across the world, Asians are suddenly starting to feel like black people. They're getting a taste of what black people get every single day. They're getting a taste of racism. And they are in disbelief and cannot believe that they're being treated this way by people that they thought accepted them. You know, this reminds me of back in 2001 when the terrorist attacks took place at the World Trade Center, and a lot of people had negative and racial, I would say, racial discrimination against Arab people because the people who committed those acts of terror were of Arab descent. Okay? This is just another example of how people who don't look like you and me, who are black, are experiencing racism, and all of a sudden they would like to cry about it, they want to whine about it, they want attention brought to light about it. But when it comes to black people talking about racism every day and talking about how they're being treated by people in a dominant society, so called, as well as these people and others who are not black, they laugh about it and say, oh, well, you probably got what you deserve. They'll just laugh it off and shrug it off because they don't give a shit. But when it happens to them, it's funny how when it happens to them, all of a sudden it's a problem now. All of a sudden you got Asian people being discriminated against. They're being treated like lepers. It's one Chinese man, elderly Chinese man, said in this interview, one of the interviews on ABC, I believe, that the virus is not ethnocentric. Like, the virus can kill anybody, and he's right about that. But here's another fact. It's a fact that the virus was born in Wuhan, China. It came from China and is a result of people traveling from that country to around the world to our country here in New York City, in the United States, in these different cities in New York, United States. You got New Jersey, you got all these places, Italy, all these different countries these people went to, okay? And they spread the disease there. You got people in Africa that have the disease as well. Not many of melanated descent, of course. We got some melanated people here in America who have gotten the disease, who have gotten exposed to it. Nobody has died of it yet, really, who was younger, but there have been a lot of elderly people who have become casualties to this particular disease, unfortunately. And I'm not here to spread hatred against Chinese people at all because I'm not about that. I've never been hateful towards anybody. I don't like certain people anymore, especially in the dominant society, because they showed me their ass to kiss, and I'm never going to kiss it. But I'm never going to tell you or anybody else or even practice in my life hatred. I don't have time for that shit. I really don't. Because if I spend my life living in hatred, ain't no fucking life worth living, right? So anyway, the virus originated in China. These people in China, the communist China, was warned about this, and they didn't listen. The virus got out now, and it's killing a lot of people. And people are trying to do the best they can to protect themselves. But the way a lot of people are going about it now, they're acting like it's the apocalypse, and it just isn't the apocalypse. They need to stop this foolishness they're doing right now. But as I was saying to my beginning point, my only point in this video is a lot of Chinese are starting to understand what racism is now because they didn't feel it before like they're feeling it now. They didn't get singled out like black people always get singled out by the police and other white people and other different people in different backgrounds do to us all the time. They didn't feel the way we feel, and now they're feeling it. But I'm not expecting them to understand what we go through because this is happening to them. And once this whole shit dies down and things go back to normal, they'll be right back on the side of white supremacy once again, I'm sure, and laughing at white people, laughing alongside white people as we get discriminated against. That's what they're gonna do. Do I feel bad that this happening to them? Yes, but it's not black people's job to defend any Chinese person that's being, treated like this. They haven't defended us, and we don't need their defense. They don't need ours. You see, the defense that these people have now is this gun. This man right here in this video has bought himself a gun, and other Asians as well have bought themselves some guns now to protect themselves from these violent acts of racism that are taking place in, Chinatown, little areas where the Chinese have their little areas and they get together and stuff like that where they live. There's many people who are in fear now because they're seeing this racism first and foremost, front and center in their face, and they don't like it, and they're afraid. So when you're afraid, you buy a gun. That's what they think anyway. So they're arming themselves now. So if anybody decides to do something against them, they're going to take action. Okay? But I just wanted to make this video really quickly because it's amazing to me that they're seeing what racism is now. They didn't know what racism was before. They will never know what racism is when it comes to black people because they never lived one day in our shoes. The racism they get right now is what they're getting because of this disease. And they're getting a lot of this. Not a few black people are doing this, but there are more people in the dominant society that are treating them like this. And they're starting to understand now what racism is, but I doubt they'll ever understand or ever give a shit what black people go through. It's a damn shame, but it's true. But like I said, this virus originated in China. So we're not being hateful when we tell you that. That is where it came from. And it's spread all over the world and it's taken a lot of lives. And a lot of people are quarantining themselves because they want to be safe and they want to be alive. Let me know what you think about this. I'll talk to you next time. This is no hate. This is just facts. Talk to you soon.